The backrooms represent absence in the way that I am not actually in front of you. Visuals of liminal spaces inspire nostalgia, not for actual history, but for a vision of a stolen future. French philosopher Jacques Derrida calls this hauntology, which in French is a homophone of ontology, the study of being. Ontologie, ontologie. Hauntology suggests that existence is only legible through the acknowledgement of the absences that surround it. Think of a sentence. One syllable only ever sounds in the present, but its meaning is defined by the syllable that precedes it and the expectation of the syllable to come. As Marc Fisher explains, the first sense of hauntology refers to that which is no longer, but which remains effective as a virtuality, like American democracy. Although, hasn't it always been a virtuality? The second sense of hauntology refers to that which in actuality has not yet happened, but which is already effective in the virtual, like Fruitiger Arrow, a dream of a healthy symbiosis between human development and nature. Unfortunately for us, our dominant economic model causes anthropogenic climate change. Franco Bifo Berardi observes that late-stage capitalism cancels the future, condemning it to environmental cataclysm. As neoliberalism drains our ability to imagine a radical economic alternative, the past bubbles forth, and we turn backward, hungry for familiar ghosts disguised as novel, like viewing digital apparitions of office hallways as we work from home, or listening to Ava Max, no shade, or by adopting 20th century nationalism. A system that venerates short-term profits eradicates room for experimentation and flattens culture. The backrooms look like what Marc Augé calls non-places, supermodern spaces like shopping malls, supermarkets, and hotel room hallways, devoid of identity, history, and meaning, through which we consume products or services. How often do we step into a fast food restaurant that looks the same as 1,000 others? These spaces feel uncanny because in capitalism, we are so often everywhere and nowhere. We are not community members, but consumer spectators. Capitalism's colonization of cyberspace, as aided by the proliferation of teletechnologies, thrusts us into non-time, where ourselves are preceded by ageless digital avatars. The non-living engaging with the non-living in an algorithmically moderated arena optimizing the collection of behavioral data. Everything on the grid is a commodity. Our attention, a resource, manipulated and sold at every moment. The sight of a face or the sound of a voice is no guarantee for actual presence. Trapped outside of place and time, we experience infinite liminality. The backrooms are hauntological because they do not really exist, and yet they do, as a virtuality. They collapse time through anachronism, giving high-8 aesthetics while materializing on smartphone screens. The backrooms haunt us like a memory, not because they refer to a historical past, but because they invoke an idealized past, like an eternal 1990s, where it might be easier to hope. Their apparent endlessness may suggest the freedom to roam, but they ultimately reflect omnipresent enclosure, a maze with no exit. In postmodernity, we are always in the backrooms. Without decay, there is no rebirth.